Hello and welcome to the back nine of round 2 of the Idlewild Open presented by Dynamic Discs. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
And I'm Madison Walker.
We're the two hot geese.
Honk.
Alright, we saw Paige being under par. There's a handful of other people under par. Let's see, I think Paige and Sarah Hokom are both even. Juliana struggling, just finding the teeth of this course.
Getting all the rollaways. Struggling a little bit on the putting green. I mean, once you get one rollaway, it's so easy for it to get into your head a little bit. But the back nine's in the woods. We're going to be out of the wind. And let's see what happens. Hole 10 is a par 3 that's 368 feet. Another two-shot par 3. We won't see many people getting to the green because of all of these sticky trees. It doesn't necessarily have a super clean fairway all the way to the basket. You want to avoid the right-hand side more than anything because it is really hard to get up and down if your disc finds its way over to that side of the fairway.
This is a passion from Paige. I've never seen a 2 here. It would be astonishing to see it. It just plays so far uphill and so technical through those little gaps.
Yeah, I don't know if you can tell from the camera angle. I think you can a little bit, but it's 368 feet, but it's also uphill the whole way. So it plays closer to 400 feet.
Like, that's a wonderful shot. And she's not even to circle 2, I don't think. Just shy. Shapely. Man, she gets way up there.
We have the same tee pad as the MPO on this hole, and there was only 12 birdies on the entire MPO field, so
it says a lot.
That says a lot.
Wow. They are just making that look so like a giant gap. Paige showing these little sticky boys. Little tiny twig trees.
The right side is not fun.
Almost.
I mean, it basically just turns it into a bogey instantly when you get over there.
Mm-hmm. Really smooth forehand approach from Sarah.
Juliana on this left side, I think it's a lot friendlier over here. This is a great place to error if you're going to pick one side. But after her perfectizer, looks like that was right according to plan.
Bit of a patent pending here. No problem.
Yeah, carries up the hill.
Paige with yet another forehand. Still has a small gap to contend with. And makes it up there for her bogey. 3 pars on this one is good.
54% of the field with a par. Still a lot of people finding bogeys. Almost 50% of the field with a bogey or worse. The short putts, it happens every once in a while where you have an issue with those, but thankfully it's a problem that is fixable.
I just think she maybe has lost some confidence.
But you can't teach yourself to hit these tight fairways, and that's what she's really good at. Hole 11 is the shortest hole in the course, just under 200 feet. It goes over this gully. You can throw a putter backhand, you can throw a forehand. There's a hyzer gap as well, low, that can skip up the hill. There's a bunch of ways to go about it. It's all up to the player. Obviously, hitting any of these trees and kicking can be detrimental. The left side, I think, is the worst of the two.
But generally, it's not very far to save your par if you kick. A little standstill sidearm. Ooh, go in.
What you want to avoid here is hitting that wall that's kind of holding the green up, the berm. It has a tendency to kick your disc into a roller position and roll it backwards down the hill.
Or if you land right next to it, it makes for a super awkward putt because it's right in your swing. Good shot, but that leaves a scary putt. AVR from Juliana. I like that play because then it leaves you pin high. That wall's not in the way. It's a good shot.
Paige just trying to get close to save her par.
Other Paige with a death putt.
Running it.
Always. Oh, man. Sailed it. Wow.
I mean, that type of aggressive putting is how Paige can shoot so low.
And she's usually good for the comebacker, but that one was pretty far.
Sometimes I wonder, I mean, she made that really long putt on hole 3 or hole 2. Sometimes I wonder if that, like, gives you, like, not a false confidence, because obviously Paige can make putts from everywhere, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know where you're going.
Sometimes there's certain putts that you don't want to run. Like, I don't know.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I don't know if it's ever smart to run that death putt, but she is very confident on the green, and I understand why she does make lots of long putts.
If you think you're going to make it, I guess. I see what you're saying.
The time is now. Nice birdie from Hokom.
The thing is like, some people would give it kind of a softer run,
Yep.
like maybe a loftier putt that stays close, but like, I don't think Paige knows what a soft run is. Like, she's just going to run it.
And that is one of the things that makes her the best in the world.
Yeah.
Couple of nice pars from Paige and Juliana. Moving on to hole 12.
Really challenging par 4, 644 feet. You're trying to throw down this tunnel and not go too deep, not go too left. You can go to the right and cut the corner just a little bit, and then it completely doglegs to the right and then curves back to the left at the end. If you can land at the corner, it's really tough but doable to get all the way down to the pin. You have to throw a bit of a tighter backhand hyzer than you think when you're looking at it, because the hill really doesn't allow skips to the left. It usually kind of anti-skips to the right or rolls down to the right of the hill. The green is surrounded by trees and also pretty steep.
I normally don't really like a dogleg in a course design, but I think this hole's really awesome. Sarah throwing in that inside gap.
Yeah.
Getting way down there.
That's the nice thing about the sidearm, is it does have that little inside gap if you're a little bit early. The backhand, if you try to throw an anhyzer that curves to the right, it's just harder to hit that little gap.
Paige with that late flipping backhand. That looks wonderful.
She almost hits that tiny little gap.
That's a good spot to land. As long as she's not too hugged up against that tree, she can take an aggressive drive to the green.
Yeah, these are some amazing shots. This looks like another ADR here. Putter's a smart play. Not trying to get too greedy. Just putting yourself in position. You can still birdie from there. I mean, it's really difficult, but you can definitely par.
It's just a long shot. I mean, it's probably 350 feet, and you have to have kind of a sharp hyzer at the end. But that was a really great place to land.
And a fierce from Paige with a nice little drift to the right. Perfect speed control as well.
She might be a little bit pinched to go for the green, but if anyone can get the distance with that level of hyzer, it's Paige.
Juliana, maybe a little wide. Not sure if she's trying to go to the outside of the tree. But
That's
yeah,
great.
She's in a really good spot to get her par.
You kind of do want to land a little bit wider to set yourself up to angle towards the green. Being pinched on the left-hand side is awful. It's so hard.
It's really bad. Man, Paige getting really punished by this tree. She's still on the edge of the tunnel here and doesn't have too much distance left.
She can miss that tree.
Splits them.
Oh, yeah.
And, man,
Oof.
pretty good angle, but she's like on the tee pad of the next hole.
Yeah, it gives it a little bit too much distance. Sarah, even with that super awesome forehand drive, still forced to go with the roller. Doesn't quite have an air shot.
Wow.
Look at this roller. Thanks. Oh, my God.
I know that. Oh my God, that hill
That
just
probably went
gives
400
it
feet.
so much speed.
Did not check up at all.
It's going like 20 miles an hour at the end.
Yeah.
Paige trying to scramble to save her par. Kind of a tough angle because you want it to hyzer out at the end. And she had to throw it with a little bit of Anheuser to start.
She'll have a long putt, but a little bit of a death putt.
Juliana for her third shot.
Great.
Yeah.
Laying down right next to the pin for a really easy par, and that feels so good. This hole is so hard to par.
Paige for a long par save. Gives it a bit and ends up a little farther than I'm sure she'd like for her bogey.
That hill is so steep behind the basket. Sarah from way down the hill, I think past pin high.
Yeah, throwing back up at it. Yeah, good shot. Man.
Is Paige for birdie?
Yeah.
Whew.
Easy par.
There was only one birdie on the day. Only one. There was a birdie on the day. That is epic. By Taylor Kramer?
Oh, I don't know her, but congratulations.
That is
great birdie.
unbelievable.
Got a little Paige wave. Oh, yes. Slow motion Paige wave.
From downhill.
Yeah, good bogey save. She's had a few clutch putts today.
Mm-hmm. Must have been spending some time on the practice green while away from the tour.
Good par. Man, even when Sarah's in a rough position, she still manages to play a clean, game. Like, it's really impressive.
Only 40% of the field with a par on this hole. Feels good, and it will definitely get you strokes on the rest of the field. Hole 13, the infamous Y hole. You want to shoot the gap with something that can at least get down to this green grassy area. If you're feeling super aggressive, you can try to shoot the corner and carry down more into this open space under these sticky trees. There's not really a good fairway for your second shot. The green, though, is a little bit more forgiving. You can see the white painted lines going up on each side into the woods. It does not just stop at the back of the AstroTurf. So you can be a little more aggressive on your second shot. There is out of bounds in the creek underneath the Y tree that snakes around. If you do catch any of those early trees before getting through all the way through the gap, like we just see Sarah doing, you can very easily drop down into that out of bounds.
Great shot from Sarah.
It also wraps on the left-hand side. Juliana is way past all that out of bounds, though. That is such a great drop.
Awesome.
Absolute crush.
100 feet maybe left.
Mm-hmm. Paige.
Too early.
Yeah, a little early. She's going to be flirting with the out of bounds.
Yeah, once you're two left, that stuff is so dense. Yeah.
You're also pinched over there, so it makes it really hard to get close to the basket to save your par.
Another Ballista Pro too early. Maybe gets kicked. All right, she's in bounds actually from there and can save her par.
That looks like a great shot. Maybe needs to push just a little deeper.
Nope,
Oh,
not deeper.
No.
Shallower. Wow, is she gonna birdie?
Yeah, she
from there. That second shot was amazing.
That was unbelievable. Paige turns it over just a little bit. Doesn't get the carry she wants it to.
I'm surprised she didn't take it farther back.
Oh yeah, that would have been
She
a
was
smart
out of
play.
bounds. Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to remember that that's a rule. When you're
Yep.
out of bounds, you can take it
It's
back
new.
in the direction of the pin.
Yeah, it's a newer rule, and
Because she was really pinched.
Juliana at her tee shot, unbelievable. Just a little approach. She'll be up on the hill, but inside the circle.
Kind of an awkward height to be putting from right there. And it dropped.
That was to save her par. She'll have an easy bogey.
For birdie. Oh. No. Oh. Wow. No, it's out of bounds? Because the line is on the inside?
No way.
That sucks.
No.
That would have been such a cool save, too, from how early she was off the tee.
Oh my gosh, that is just brutal.
Yeah, really bad break.
Juliana having to take a knee from where she is, and she's still just so high above the basket.
Yep, it's a tough putt from there. Spoken from experience.
Couple of easy pars. And an unfortunate turn of events for Paige on the green. Like I said, in the front nine, there's some mean greens out here. There's lots of out of bounds inside the circle, and in this case, inside of 10 feet.
Inside of 7 feet. Wow, Missy Gannon, 5 down through 15 holes. Holy moly.
She was on my card, and she was just playing so clean, and she was making some super clutch putts from far away. Everyone else hovering right around even. We can see Owen with 2 down, though, carrying over some of that Masters World Championship magic.
Hole 14, I think, is probably the hardest hole on the course. You have to throw through this tiny little gap right here. Sidearm is the best play. You want to kind of take this left side that the drone is taking and try to land somewhere on this hillside, and then there's not really a super defined fairway here. You just pick one of these small gaps, try to get through over the moat. There is OB around the basket as well. It is hard.
It says on the stats that this is the 5th most difficult hole of the day, but it's not. I think this is the most daunting fairway. It's the narrowest gap off the tee with the most amount of trouble nearby.
Wow, it looks like Hokom barely squeaked through, and she's so far down there.
She gets a roll into the bottom of this gully, but it's not bad down there.
I mean, it has the same gaps as everywhere else. Once again, there's not really a single gap once you get down there that you're like, oh yeah, that's the one. You just have to pick one.
Juliana,
smooth backhand,
hits the direct center of the gap, filters down to the left-hand side. So impressive. I just can't imagine turning my back to this gap. I throw a sidearm.
Yeah, me too. Oh, yeah, super early kick.
I think the left side's better than the right, but it depends on how deep you go in that left side. Wow.
I think that's another judge.
Wow.
Great control. Wow, you rarely see people throw backhand through this gap. Especially that well.
God, she's so good at throwing putters. That was amazing. Paige,
actually, I think that was a pier. I'm sorry.
Paige has so much stuff to get through, but she powers through everything and gets out to the landing zone.
And is still going.
I don't know if she'll say that once she... Oh,
she's got a straight look at it. She just kind of has to get lucky through one of these gaps.
Did it turn or did it catch a tree?
It turned? Oh my god.
Wow.
I'm not even going to say she got lucky. That was just a good shot.
Wow.
That was her soul, I believe.
Oh my god.
And
that
what
was
a freaking par save.
From a standstill with a tree in the backswing. That was unbelievable. Juliana from her drive.
Come on. Miss everything. Miss everything.
Wow.
Gets through all the trees.
Okay, so it's not the hardest hole on the course. Statistics don't lie, apparently.
I mean, 50% of the field with a bogey or worse.
Usually if you hit early like Paige did, like, it's over. It's a bogey. It's going to happen.
There's a reason these ladies got onto the lead card at one of the hardest courses on tour.
I'm pretty sure that's what the Idlewild website says. The hardest course on tour.
Yesterday I heard someone say a slogan, or like make up a slogan. It was actually Missy's caddy Tom said, "This is wild. Idlewild."
Oh my god.
Hokom unfortunately catching a tree, but she'll be able to pretty easily get her third shot onto the green.
Paige just chipping a sidearm to take her par. Long putt for birdie.
There were 2 birdies on the
Yes.
day. We got to watch one of them. Really nice long putt from Juliana. Get that confidence skyrocketing. There was one other birdie by a hot goose honk. It was me.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
And on my card, I got to watch Missy Gannon throw in for eagle. It was unbelievable. Snaked through all the trees. She was in the landing zone where most of these lead card ladies landed on their drive and threw it in the backhand.
It is on film. I think the Pro Tour posted it, so go check that out. It is awesome.
In this game, preparation is everything. It gives you that edge to become something from nothing. Success is not by accident. Because you know, the course plays no favorites. You know what it takes to be the best. In this game, detail matters. Idio Sports.
Hole 15 is a 387-foot par 4, and it seems weird to have a sub 400-foot par 4, but this hole is so hard. The tee shot is very, very steep uphill with a narrow gap. It's a really touchy landing zone. You want to land by the stud stump, hopefully setting yourself up for a sidearm or a backhand turnover to the green. There's a bunch of guardian trees on this side of the green, though, that can stop you early of getting inside the circle. But this is definitely a hole where birdie is within range, within reach.
Yeah, I think straight shot off the tee, and then the upshot shape's a little bit better for the sidearm than the backhand. I guess it depends on what side of the fairway you're on. I think from there, sidearm makes a little bit more sense, but if you're on the other side, an Anheuser backhand works a little bit better.
That was a great drive from Juliana, finding the center of the fairway. Sarah sawing it off early. She'll be in the edge of the woods, pretty much eliminating the chance to get the birdie.
Great shot.
Yeah, Paige not looking like she's trying to get a ton of distance off the tee. She's laying up to the landing zone just like everybody else.
Paige is throwing the same Ballista Pro all day long. And it's pretty good. Going backhand here.
A little bit of an early release. That uphill run up makes your foot hit the ground a little bit earlier, and it has a tendency to set off your timing. Kind of weird. She early releases, but she'll be able to get up and down for par from where she landed.
Hokom having to throw a patent pending backhand around the corner. Lands in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, takes the time to visualize the line and opens up her next shot to the green.
Wow, up there for a second birdie in a row. I believe this is a stalker from Paige. Oh, did not turn it enough. Still up there for, I don't know, 35, 38-foot putt, something like that. Great park job for par.
Yeah, super nice recovery from the tee shot.
And same comment for Paige. For birdie.
Oh, all the chains. Doesn't quite grab. Juliana for the only birdie look on the card. Oh, yeah.
All right, back to back.
Everyone else having to settle for their pars.
It's hard to do what Juliana's doing. It's so easy to just like lose hope and give up and
Just settle into the jaws of Idlewild.
spiral of darkness.
Right into the stomach.
Hole 16 is the longest par 5 of the day, 969 feet. You can see it lined with OB, both left and right. It is very wide. I believe it was not very windy on this hole, at least when I was on it. Was it windy for you?
Nope. It was the calmest winds we will ever see on this hole,
Yeah.
I think.
You want to land near that big bush we just passed on your second shot, and then you can definitely get down here for a birdie look. This, once again, another little moat to another little mini golf green. This one is OB, like just the turf is OB. You can't go behind it.
Definitely not as forgiving on your approach shots.
For whatever reason, it's really easy to throw OB on this first shot. I don't know if it's because it's elevated. Ooh. Stays in bounds.
It is such a wide fairway. It shouldn't be any issue to hit, but
you see it.
Yeah.
You know,
it's kind of like the movies, like you've said before, where you step up to the tee and it like stretches out really far away. Yeah, and it gets really skinny. You're like, what's happening?
I think a lot of people, you just don't want to throw max distance necessarily because it's really easy to go out of bounds. So you see a lot of people kind of throw, a little bit off speed and are trying to play conservative and end up maybe not giving it enough power.
Mm-hmm. Early releasing.
This is smoked.
It's got the height to get back in bounds.
Wow.
Wow.
Eagle bid? I don't know.
That was definitely smashed.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of people getting super aggressive on this one. Even this is like relatively aggressive. A lot of people just pitch to the very top of the first hill. We saw Hokom yesterday play for par, which is smart. It's on your third shot down the hill. It's so hard to land in bounds if you're being aggressive.
This one, it does help to push a little bit deeper though, so you can see the basket on your third shot, and that way you can make sure that you're playing safe and not finding the direct center of the moat.
I do think it's easier to be a little bit more aggressive on your second shot than your first shot.
Especially as a right-hand backhand player.
Mm-hmm.
Juliana working the full fly to that disc. That's a great looking shot.
Yeah, anywhere past that sign, I think that sign is 400 feet from the pin. And it plays really downhill, so you can definitely reach it even though it's 400. Yeah, it looks like she's going for the pin. Oh, super aggressive play. She's carrying OB right now. Has to get to the bottom of the hill to be in bounds.
And she does.
Circle 2 for eagle.
That's so awesome.
Wow.
That's a lot of distance covered.
So cool. And this looked like she trying to give herself maybe like a circle 2 look.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That is really excellent placement.
Yeah. A little bit more aggressive than yesterday. Got a putt for birdie.
In years past, this has played as one of the harder holes on the course, but it seems like people are starting to figure it out after a few years of seeing what works and what doesn't.
Gets a little bit of a backwards roll, but also up there for a birdie, circle 2.
Still only 14% of the field with a birdie. It's a tough one, especially this shot right here. Juliana looks like she's going for the green.
Turns it too much, but gets a good kick down.
Yeah, this tree's definitely helped her out.
3 birdie looks and an eagle.
Welcome to the lead card.
I wanted it so bad.
She stops just short of out of bounds deep.
Paige Pierce, someone that you sometimes say settles for birdie, which you don't say for very many people.
Disappointed for birdie.
And no one quite given it the right height. Come on, Sarah.
Do it.
No. Close one.
There were 5 birdies on the day. We get to watch one of them. Congrats to Kona Panis, Deanne Carey, Haley King, and Heather Young for finding the 4 as well. Yeah, this green can feel so narrow on that last shot down here. I still can't decide whether to be aggressive. What's the best play, to be aggressive and try to land it on the green or try to go short? But I think I like the short play that we see our lead card ladies doing. Hole 17 is a new hole, new tee pad. They moved it up a little bit further down the fairway and more to the left. There's a nice wide open fairway, super wide, 287 feet. There's an out of bounds creek that runs all the way through the fairway, though. If you catch any of those trees, you can very easily find out of bounds. You can crash to the right hand side with a sidearm, or a little bit further down the fairway, crash to the left hand side with a backhand.
This is $1,000 ace hole if you make it in one shot. I think I accidentally said $10,000 yesterday in, my excitement. So, not quite, but still cool. Paige is out of bounds. Juliana is a bit short, but has a chance to get a birdie.
This is such a scary putt to run, though. That out of bounds is, within 15 feet all the way around the basket.
The sidearm's a good play because it has a bailout zone that's pin high. Oh, she doesn't quite get the distance on it, but still a good shot.
Yeah, just outside the circle. Paige, is that a distance driver?
I think it's a Lucid X Maverick, which is a fairway.
Okay.
But a pretty stable plastic
Going
on a flippy disc. So that's... Oh, no! Wow.
Did that just...
Let's
let's
see.
watch the replay. Did it land on top of the cage? Oh my god, the nubs got her.
Wow. What an awesome line.
Love the Maverick play. That's so awesome.
Yeah, really using the width of that very wide fairway.
Getting the full flight. Sarah and Juliana with their birdie putts.
A combined 1 inch too high in the last 2 holes. Paige, this is for a par save. Count it.
There we go. Ace turned to birdie for Paige. So close to that $1,000 payday. I feel like collectively as a card, going 1 under on this hole is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that OB is just so easy to find. Much easier than the in-Bs.
Again, only
IB?
only 5 birdies on that hole with how short it is, so it shows how hard it is.
The last hole is a tough one. Par 5, it is only 650 feet, so if you can get out this very straight tunnel in 2 shots, you're going to have a good look at your birdie. It was windy out here once you did get out of the gap. If you're off to either side, off the tee or on your second shot, you're in scramble mode hardcore. These 2 big trees really block your final shot to the green. Just very grabby trees. You really have to shape that last shot in a very specific way.
Getting out of this fairway in 2 shots feels like a great victory.
Yeah.
It's
putter is a really good play.
Yeah. The first shot I think is a lot easier or maybe more straightforward than the second shot. But you can get into a lot of trouble on both of them.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people do go conservative shot here, this first one, and then try to get aggressive on the second shot. So I think you can often find more trouble on the second.
Left side's slightly better side to error. The right side is so mean. It also slopes downhill the further you go right, and there's just so many vines to deal with over there.
This is the aggressive play. I think the left side is a little bit better for the right-hand backhand player than the right side, because sometimes you can find a gap and kind of skip a hyzer to the end of the fairway.
Hokom going with the backhand off the tee.
Yeah.
Love
well
that
done.
play.
That's really all you need off the tee, is just to be on top of that hill.
The sidearm is so hard off the tee here because of that down slope on the right-hand side. There's not a great way to land conservatively in the fairway.
She was really pinched on that sidearm. Gets a kick but lands in the middle. Looks like another putter from Paige here. Who needs to fade.
She had a gap, puts it a little bit wide, but thankfully lays down just on the edge of the fairway instead of careening into the woods like you can so easily do here.
I think it's so hard if you're just a couple of feet into the woods not to be hyper aggressive to get out of the gap. Like, you probably should just pitch up and be in the middle and take your par, but you're like, no, I can do it.
I'm the unicorn.
Paige gets out pretty nicely. She does have one last bush to contend with.
Juliana with one of her patent pending down on a knee shots that we see her do, and she's so good at. Gets a little help from the trees, but she'll be right in the middle of the fairway.
Third shot for Hokom. Beautiful.
Gets way out of the gap. She'll have just a pitch up to save her par. Paige with a very awkward patent pending.
Oh, man.
Turns it a little bit more than she wants. Can't see how deep she is into that bush, but hopefully she's right on the edge.
Yeah, that'll be her fourth shot, right? Like, she can still save her par. Juliana's third. This looks good. It just needs to, get some ground play.
That grass is so thick and so grabby, but she'll have a putt for birdie.
Yeah.
Paige forced to do a rare sidearm. Wow.
Yeah, right shape.
Some big distance, too.
It just needed a bit more turn, and she would have had it just right. Oh, man. Paige forced to pitch out there. Bogey at best now.
Yeah, it's that this hole can happen like that so quickly.
And, I mean, that'll put both Paige and Sarah close going into the last day. Right now, it's only a 2-stroke lead, and they're both going to par, it looks like.
Yeah, Paige never really threw necessarily a bad shot, but still looking at a bogey. It happens so quickly, just depending on what the trees decide to give you.
For birdie. Oh. Wow. Those branches are so thick. It just smacked her right down. Good par, though. Juliana really hanging in there all around and doing some really cool stuff in the last few holes.
It shows
no.
Oh, no. It shows a true competitor to have some of the nerves on the putting green, but bounce back. I mean, she putted just fine in the back nine.
Wow, with that double bogey, it's going to be a 3-way tie going into the final round. The drama.
The drama. Looks like we're going to have a very exciting final round to watch.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had one this tight.
And that wraps up the final round. We get to watch Paige's reaction. It's like, I've taken a long enough break. It's time for me to ace.
Wow, look at Hokom. 1 bogey, 1 birdie.
The cleanest golf you've ever watched.
Yeah. Let's see. Paige. Yeah, just that unfortunate double bogey at the end. I don't think anybody ended up under par today. I think we had a couple one-overs. Yeah, let's see the leaderboard here. Hokom, even. Yeah, Missy
and Owen with 2 under. I watched Missy. I mean, she was 5 down in the last 3 holes. She got a double and a single bogey, and it didn't ruin the round. Obviously, 2 down is unbelievable.
And she'll be on the lead card.
Worked her way up into the 4th position.
Wow, I can't wait.
Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with us during round 2. We can't wait to watch round 3 and the final round of the Idlewild Open. My name is Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
We're the 2 hot geese. Honk.
Honk.
Thanks to GK Pro for the awesome FPO footage, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.